Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Let's see, this is going to be a different kind of video, and I didn't want to do it, but at the same time I do and did. And it's actually going to discuss various YouTube beefs that have been going on, and it's just gotten completely out of hand. And let me just get started with the first group of people because I can't. It's like too much. So the first group of people I want to discuss are Tasha K and Lovely T. There has been issues going on, and just in general, Tasha K in general. I am subscribed to Tasha K. I found out about her on accident. She kept getting recommended to me, and I was like, okay, let me click on this video and see what's going on. And I like her content. I don't necessarily agree with every single thing she does. I have been like most other people, and I've been like, why is she yelling? What is going on? But a lot of people's personalities are just loud and big and whatever, and you can't fault them for that. My thing is, I don't have a problem with her. I've gotten used to that, and I can simply turn it down or turn it off. So I turn it down because a lot of the content that she has up, it interests me. But the issues that have been going on surrounding her and Lovely T, I think it has gone way too far. And in all honesty, it actually seems as though Lovely T is the one who is more at fault than anything, even though everyone wants to make it seem like Tasha K is the bully. And I get why people feel as though she is the bulldog and all this other stuff, because she actually records people when she's on the phone with them and all the other stuff, whether they know about it or not. Most of the time they don't know about it. And in all honesty, had she not recorded the conversations that she had with Lovely T, I would have thought that Lovely T was just the closest thing to an angel and all this other stuff. And just like the other people, there are other people who I'm not gonna name, because the biggest feud, rivalry, so to speak, between Tasha K and the other people is Tasha K and Lovely T. So I'm not gonna bring up the other people, but there are other people in the mix as well. Some things have been going on recently that have been going on with people making content about Tasha K, and it's just really sad. And yes, Tasha's pregnant, but she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's getting into when she says the things that she says. And she's not that concerned from what she tells us and what she gives us with whatever the backlash is going to be when she does spill wine and says certain things in general, whether it's actually behind a story that she's been following and developing or not. But I just wish that everybody can come to some kind of resolve, because there is so much out here. You know what I'm saying? There is so much money to be made, and I'm not a part of the people who's making all this money. It's just gotten to the point where people have gotten on the Tasha K train to the point where they're like, oh, okay, I heard about her. She broke this story about R. Kelly and Wendy Williams and all this other stuff. Like a lot of big stories that came out, she was the one who broke it, and other people shared it after the fact, because normally people go to TMZ because TMZ normally gets stuff first. But people feel comfortable enough coming to Tasha K to reveal certain aspects of whatever. And, it's just to the point where it's like, now everybody's like, oh, okay, well, let me do these videos and let me get money off Tasha K. So it's like, people kill me because they make it seem like, oh, we hate her, we can't stand her, she two-faced, she all this. My thing is, if I don't like somebody that much, if I make a video at all, I might make one, maybe two. But I'm not going every single day or every other day, I'm not going to continue to make a video about this person who I just hate. And, oh, she's just so terrible. Oh, she's just this. But you're doing it because you know that the views are going to come in and you're going to get money off of that. And a lot of these people, they didn't have that many views until they mentioned Tasha K. So I don't understand why everybody is all up in arms when they are getting their bread and butter from Tasha K, because they're talking about Tasha K. But anyway, y'all, as far as that is concerned, with her and Lovely T, like I said, has she not recorded the phone call that she had that day that got released, where she was talking about other people behind her back too, and all that? She really seemed like as close to an angel. It just seems so sweet and innocent. But you want to talk about somebody that's not that sweet and all that, and it's just like, what? And my thing is this: I'm not necessarily angry at her. I just hate that she won't accept her part in it. It's like she's been exposed, but it's like I don't recall anybody making any videos or her coming out saying, y'all, I was wrong, I need to not do these things. And so, I mean, do what I need to do so I don't get caught up in these situations anymore. But I don't know. A lot of people are just saying that, I mean, it's come to light, and now a lot of other people are seeing for themselves that she might not be as nice and sweet as we, once thought she was. Like, I never would have thought that she was anything like what we heard in the phone conversations. And then when Tasha K basically got ambushed on this 2-day or 24-hour slumber party, pajama party foolishness that was going on, I was just like, oh my gosh, who has 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 24 hours to sit online? Oh my gosh, I was so tired in my spirit. I could not believe that. But anyway, I just wish that everybody would move on from that. And there are, like I said, there are other people who bring her up at least once a week, at least twice a week, to be honest. But then they can't stand her, and they have all this negative stuff to say about her. And I'm like, you can't hate her too much, because every time you look up, you got something to say about her. Because if I'm done with you, I'm done. I'm gonna say my piece, and I'm all the way done with you. That's just gonna be what it is. Unless you have come to me and tried me again on like a whole astronomical scale, that's the only way that I would readdress anything. Or if I would say something, it would be very, very minute, and I would move on. I'd just be like, look, God bless you, bye. I ain't got time. Anyway, moving on to the next YouTube rivalry. I'm trying to see which one I want to bring up first. Wait a minute. Because there's stuff going on, like I said, in the blogging and celebrity gossip and news community and the mukbang community. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Now, I don't know if y'all have heard about what's going on, especially if you are into mukbangs. B Love's life was put on blast, so to speak, by someone who she did a collaboration with 6 months or so ago. The person in question goes by the name on YouTube as Eat with Q, Q-U-E. And she did a mukbang, and she did 2 parts, and she didn't say her name, but everything she said pointed directly to B Love life, Bethany, that's her real name, her family. It directly, you could tell that it was about her and her family. So I was just like, okay, what is going on over here? So I saw the video, and I'm looking like, wait a minute, and I know, there's no reason to even lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not friends with none of these people. I don't think I'm related to anybody. And even if they were related to me, I don't care. I would still say and speak my piece. I have noticed a big change in Bethany. Not necessarily all the way for the best, but I wasn't sure if I should fully believe everything that Q was saying or not. Because when she did her mukbang, she was talking about how at the time when B Love and them, I don't know if they still live there or not, but they were living in Ohio, because I know they've moved and gonna move again or whatever. She went to Ohio to do the collab. She got there, and she tried to make it seem like when she got there, nobody was hospitable. The husband was in the studio, wouldn't come out, and then when he did speak, he was just like, oh, hey, or whatever. Her son her youngest son that she had with the husband was snooty, and he was looking down on herself and her sister. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, she basically said the situation was terrible. She felt terrible the whole time. They actually had 2 mukbangs that they did, one day and one the next. And she did not like the vibe. She did not like the energy both days. And I'm just saying to myself, why would you still be there if it was that bad? You know, but while I'm watching it, I'm saying to myself, okay, let me hear her out. You know, maybe she'll say something that would make me want to be like, okay, girl, wow, that's crazy. You know, I'm going to cry for you, Argentina, or something. So I'm listening and I'm kind of like, whew, what's going on? And once the family got wind of it, we were told that the youngest son was going to have the video up as one of the responses, and he kind of shortened it, and we are expecting the part 2 that's going to have even more receipts in it today sometime. I don't know if it's going to be while I'm doing this video or not, but I've been refreshing to see what was going to go on, because something else came out today, and I'm kind of glad. Wait a minute, no! Okay. Sorry about that. So, but yeah, there's supposed to be a whole lot of receipts because he had several in his video. So like I was saying, before I even get to their video, Q did her video and she was like, oh, they just treated me so terrible. And when we went upstairs or wherever they were going to edit the video, they were watching it together, and Q felt like there were certain parts that made her look crazy in the video, and she was like, girl, can you take me out? You know, can you take that part out and all this other stuff? She said that after she watched the video back, after it had gotten uploaded, that every single part basically that made her look crazy, she kept in there, and she felt like she was doing all this stuff to her own purpose. And then she said something about how the husband was challenging her and or her sister about biblical things. Every single thing they said, they were getting challenged. It was just a terrible time through and through. And after the second collab was over, drove home 8 hours, crying most of the way. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then she was like, I couldn't believe this because this is somebody that I looked up to. This was somebody that I respected and all this other stuff. Y'all, I think it took them like a day, maybe 2 days tops to get wind of it and respond. There were some receipts. She made it seem like she was just so unhappy. She didn't want to be there. They had pictures of them, everybody, having a wonderful time, drinking, doing whatever all they were doing in there, like all of that. And she seemed very comfortable in those pictures. She seemed like she was very happy. And they would actually play audio footage of things she said out of her own mouth recently, and then play old audio from when she did the mukbangs from them. And even after she was done and came home and did the mukbang, she would sit up there and was like, oh my gosh, you guys, I had such a wonderful time with B-Love yesterday. Oh my gosh. Every time you look up, she just was saying how wonderful of a time she had. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit up here and fake the funk. My thing is this: I'm the type of person that if something happened and everybody knew that I was gonna be a part of this, and then I didn't come back gushing over it or whatever, and then I'm not acting the way that I told y'all or y'all were expecting me to act after I returned, you would know something was wrong with me. I'm not gonna sit up here and fake the funk. I'm not gonna say nothing at all. You're gonna know something had to be wrong for me to sit up there and go and be around somebody who I say I idolized ultimately. And every time you look up, she started doing everything that B-Love did. B-Love started getting her nails done. She all of a sudden started getting her nails done. B-Love started getting better wigs a little bit. Every time you look, B-Love went and got her body done. Next thing we know, she done went to Atlanta, making it seem like she was there for some music festival or whatever it was. And she done went and saw Dr. Curves. It's like, girl, you get everything done. B-Love went and got braces. She went and got her teeth done. And I was like, girl, every single move she makes. And then she's supposed to come with her own sauce too. It's like, girl, you are doing every single thing she's doing. So it's like, are you actually idolizing her, or are you trying to build yourself up off of the sweat of her back because of what she did for the mukbang community? You know what I'm saying? And no, she's not the first person to do this, but she is the one who most people reference. Even Cardi B was asking where was her sauce just the other day from Bethany. Like, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, when the family did their response, y'all, they were sitting up there like, I was like, oh my gosh, this video, oh my gosh. I didn't know what to really expect, but when the video happened, they basically were saying that they were so disappointed. They didn't understand where this was even coming from. And it was obviously, we're talking about them because even though she didn't say their names, whenever somebody was down in her comment section and saying, oh, you must be talking about Be Love Life and blah, blah, she would heart every single person's comment who basically knew what she was talking about without her having to say it, because she would just be like, yeah, here's my, here's my my stamp of approval. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So it was bad. The youngest son, explained himself as far as how he's shy, and unless he's around people who he knows, like for real knows, like his family, the kind of silly and goofy and playful guy that we see on the screen when he's with his parents and his brother, you're not gonna get that if I'm just meeting you for the first time. And that's how I feel too. Like, if I know, like, if you're just a random person on the street, I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I mean, I genuinely am smiling, but I'm just not like how I would be like if I ain't seen my best friend. Like, I haven't seen my best friend in person since 2015. If I was to see her right now, you would see all my teeth. My smile would be like this. My face would look like this. Like, I would have a completely different reaction. This is my first time meeting you. I'm gonna be like, hey, how you doing? Or hey, how you doing? Or I might give you a little half of a church hug or something like that. If I meet you and I like you because of what I've seen you do. But yeah, like I said, the family explained how they were disappointed. It was just too much going on. They don't even understand where it came from. They had receipts. They had pictures that they put up where she was taking them. And like I said, they had video, they had audio, they had all kinds of stuff. And that apparently that don't even scratch the surface. So I'm very, very intrigued to find out what's going to happen today. So anyway, the last rivalry that I want to discuss is T.S. Madison and Kaya. I am in my 30s. When I was in college, I heard of Kaya, I heard her music. I know more than My Neck, My Back, which is everybody loves. That's the one song that everybody loves to try to read her about, or to try to be like, well, the only song I know about her is My Neck and My Back. I know about some of her collabs that she did, even though other people don't want to really acknowledge that. But I know of her. I respect the fact that she's a straight shooter. Sometimes it's too much, and she does not, like, she's the type of person that she doesn't necessarily think before she speaks most of the time, in my opinion. But I like the fact that she is a straight shooter. She says what she says. She means what she says. But a lot of the time, there are times that it's not needed, and she's giving way too much energy to things that she shouldn't. And I don't know if it's because she's operating from a hurt place. But yeah, so let's delve right on into this. I don't know if y'all know anything about T.S. Madison, but I live for T.S. Madison. Yes, I am a Christian, and I can like what I like. T.S. Madison was born a male. T.S. Madison is a trans woman. She has a show by the name of The Queen's Supreme Court. When she and Kaya did their collaboration on a weekly or sometimes daily basis and all that good stuff, it was just called The Queen's Court. Kaya did something like that and nobody cared. I ain't even gonna sit up here and lie, because when that show came on, when it happened, first of all, I followed Maddie. I was, I was on Facebook all the time. One of my friends put me on to Maddie. I was like, yeah, she is everything. So then, you know, a good while, it might have been a year or two after I was put on, she started doing this because she does her Lipton tea hours, all the other stuff. She used to do all this stuff all the time. Well, one day I finally caught a live of hers that she was doing on Facebook, and I click on it, and I'm like, "Is that Kaya?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I put one of my friends on to T.S. Madison, and so I screenshot it at that moment because I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know how this gonna go. This might not go too well." And so I'm talking about, this is late at night. I sent the screenshot to my friend to tell her, to get her to see if she was, you know, able to watch it. We were watching it, and we both are texting back and forth like, "I don't know about this. I don't know about this. This might not go over too well," because Kaya is just so like, just like clamp down on your neck. If I had to grab the back of your neck to make you listen to me, like she is just so like in your face. And I mean, that's cool, like, but I just didn't know if that was gonna go over too well. I told my friend, "I don't know about this. I don't know about it. I don't know. I like Kaya's music. I love me some Maddie. So I don't know what this is gonna do for her brand." So it went over well at first for a good little while, and there were people in Maddie's ear. A lot of us who were her fans were telling her, "Girl, you need to watch her. I don't know about this." And she was like, "Look, I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. We both from Miami or wherever. Both I know Maddie's from Miami. I think she is too. But they both are from Florida." And she was just like, "I ride for her, I live for her music." Like she, in all seriousness, no matter what Kaya wants to say, if it had not been for T.S. Madison, nobody would have cared about her outside of the few people out there who knew about My Neck, My Back, and maybe a few other things, because there are some people who are dedicated, and once they like you, and they will buy all your music and all this other stuff. In all seriousness, I don't even know what made me do it, but when the collaboration first happened, that first night when I saw the live come on, I went to Kaya's page because I randomly went to one of her pages before. I actually didn't know if it was a real page of hers or not. So I was like, I don't know. This might be just some random person, you know, screen grabbing or whatever they call that, you know, her stuff and then making it seem like it's hers. But I don't think she was getting paid for anything. And it was like a couple of 100 views here. Every now and again, she might get 1,000. She didn't really have any subscribers. I think at the most she had was like between 1,000 and 3,000 subscribers. And I said, nope, I'm gonna screenshot this. I need to see what it's gonna be. You know, if all this takes off, I want to see if it's really gonna go somewhere. In no time, she had all kinds of subscribers. She had all kinds of people following her. She had all of this publicity and all this stuff going towards her music, and she was able to be on Maddie's platform, promoting herself, promoting her music, saying whatever she wanted to say, even if they were butting heads about it, because of course Kaya is not here for Trina, and Maddie loves Trina. So anytime she would say something about Trina she didn't want to hear it, and she would just be like, but anyway. It was unfortunate the way things ended, because Kaya said that she didn't like how things were going one day. They were actually going to get this exclusive interview from Monique. Yeah, the Monique. You know, I'm just trying to explain this for the people who don't know some of the backstory of what had been going on. They were going to get the first dibs on the story about her speaking out on why she said what she said and all this other stuff. Monique was there. For some reason, the audio and different technical things messed up. Maddie felt like, okay, I need to step up my game as far as all of my technology and all this other stuff. So she saw these guys and they had some great stuff going on their channel. So she asked them to come over. She had never met them, to my knowledge, or whatever. For some reason, this stuff didn't go over well. And they were having technical difficulties. Monique kept holding on. She had her Periscope going, all this other stuff. Cool. It got to a point where the longer that Kaya waited, the more agitated she got. She said, I ain't got time for this. I can't do this. Since I can't do this, this is just too much. It ain't right, something ain't right. And she just eventually got up and left. And it was so bad to the point where Maddie was begging her, ultimately, in a way, to stay. Like, come on, just, we'll work it out. We'll work through it. And in show business, things happen. So I was just like, girl, why you mean to tell me you'd have left because of technical difficulties? Keep in mind, apparently she didn't put no money into none of this stuff. Whenever props were happening on the show, she did not put money towards it. She didn't put money towards the name of the show or whatever to, get the rights. You know what I'm talking about, y'all. I can't even think of the name of it, but yeah. But she never did anything. But Maddie would sit up there and get the alcohol. She would let that woman stay in her house because she has a huge home. So she had an amazing place to lay her head. Wherever they was going to go out and eat, she paid for her. And then she never complained about it. This wasn't a situation where she was like, girl, you over here, you got me messed up, you over here, and I'm paying for all this stuff for you, whatever way. It was nothing like that. It was all love from Maddie's side. Then it got to a point where after she got up and walked off, and then Maddie began crying, and even though it wasn't really on hers, Monique's side of everything, on Periscope and all that, when they were recording, it was still showing. And Monique was trying to console her. I was like, baby, don't cry. It'll be okay. And Maddie was just like, that's supposed to be my sister though. I don't understand. Like, you could tell how hurt she was because this was a big deal. This was like their first real major celebrity guest. And she was going to talk about something major. And y'all know how much Monique was in the news for all this stuff that had been going on, what she said about Netflix and them not, trying to give her the amount that she felt like she was due. So Maddie was in her feelings. And it's very much so understandable why she was in her feelings. Like, y'all, it was just too much. It got to the point where when Kaya left, she did what she did. She went upstairs and got her stuff. So anyway, some time went by. She would sit up there and take all these shots at Maddie, call her Mandy, man, whore, and all this other stuff. So anybody who doesn't know, this is for all the people who don't know about T.S. Madison. Like I said before, she was born a man. Her profession was an escort. She was a prostitute, whatever you want to say. She was paid for sexual services, and she was actually in the adult entertainment industry as well. That's how she made her money. She held on to a lot of her money, and she was flipping money and all that stuff. And, she was able to keep a lot of her money because she put it back into herself. And when she was able to get out, she got out unharmed, thank goodness. And all that, and she has no problem saying that to people. She will tell you in a heartbeat that that's what she used to do. She actually still gets money off of videos that people are still purchasing to this day that were made when she did X-rated videos. So, y'all, it's just a lot. Because she'll try to come for her and be like, oh, you ain't got it. Like, as of late, her best friend, Maddie's best friend, passed away like a year or two ago. 2 years ago, I think. And her birthday is actually on my father's birthday, which is June 2nd. So Maddie finally made a video, and we now know a lot surrounding what happened when she passed away, a lot more details, because we didn't know. All we know is one day she came online and said that, she transitioned. And I was like, wait a minute, is she saying that she passed away, or did she get some reassignment surgery? Like, what is going on? But she had passed away, and we didn't really know, and it was just really, really sad. As of late, Kaya will say things like, the furniture that her best friend had, Maddie stole it from her and all this other stuff, and she didn't care about that woman. She didn't care about that person. And y'all, when I tell you a lot of this stuff is petty, it was to the point where lawsuits were brought up between her, Kaya, and Michelle Brown, which, a lot of people may know her as AT Alien, or however you say it, whatever. She's like a blogger or something, y'all. I ain't gonna get into that part of it, but yeah, it's just a lot that was going on. They had restraining orders, and it was just too much. But Maddie went, once she, gathered herself after all that stuff went down, when she walked off and never came back, she went and she got the rights to the Queen's Supreme Court and the Queen's Court. So Kaya was in her feelings and was like, you sitting up here doing all this stuff behind my back. Da, da, da. Like, y'all, it was just a whole to do. Like, it's a whole lot. My thing is this, you can tell that they had amazing chemistry. I didn't think it was going to work, but they pulled it off, and people still want to see them together. But I don't know if that would be a good idea, because there were partnerships that weren't going to be able to happen while Kaya was around. Kaya says a lot of insensitive things about people in the LGBT community, and they don't have time for it. A lot of people are like, nah, I can't fool with you, because look at the stuff she's saying against us. So y'all, I would be here all day if I kept going on and on about what's going on with that. But I said all of that to say this. I just wish that the beef would end. Y'all go to y'all respective corners. Do what y'all do. You don't have to bring each other up. Continue to tell the fans, okay, look, I understand what happened in the past, but I'm not affiliated with them anymore, so you ain't got to worry about that, and I'm not going to deal with that type of situation anymore. I value myself enough, because it's too much, whatever. Just, I feel like, just don't do this. Like, and it looks really bad, because in all three situations, these are all women whose skin looks like mine. No matter what they identify as, they are seen as Black women, or Black, whatever, because a lot of people want to try it and be like, but Maddie's a man. Whatever. We are all Black. So people expect us to act a fool anyway. That is the stereotype. Oh, look at the Black people. Look at the Black people. And as all this stuff was unfolding, I was just like, oh my gosh, people need to stop. It is so much drama, y'all. I just don't know. I don't know if any of this stuff will end. As far as the mukbang situation, the latest development is that the sister of Eat With Q, she did a public apology. She made a video. She made a video. She apologized. The family all got on there on their respective platforms, and they accepted her apology on YouTube. And B-Love even subscribed, told her I'm subscribing. So basically the sister apologized on her own behalf, and she was like, I'm just letting y'all know this is for me. This is me. I was wrong. I accept responsibility for my part in it. And she admitted that she saw the situation wrong. She was completely wrong about how she felt, because she had this incorrect perception of the family that she shouldn't have had. So yeah, y'all, this has been long enough. I'm sorry for dragging this out, but it's just been weighing on me, because every time I look up, I see more and more of this YouTube beef and dragging, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, why? When is it gonna end? Because it's too much. In all three cases, there is so much money to be made. Go ahead, make your money. You have your family, you have your health, you have your wealth, ultimately, because a lot of these people are making good money. So I just feel like y'all just do what y'all gonna do. If the situation with B-Love and Eat With Q resolves itself, and then they can, be respectful to one another again, and possibly overcome all of this, and then do a collab again without Q feeling away, then maybe, there's hope there. But I don't know, y'all. It's been all too much, and I just wish all of this YouTube stuff would stop. Like, it's really too much. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll talk to y'all later.